6.
I just want to tell Team Verizon thank you so much.
It's a yearly event with a little more meaning in 2020. Good evening, I'm Jen Lask. As parents are faced with tough decisions for going back to school, one store is giving parents a helping hand. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Cook shares how.
Parents already have a lot to think about when it comes to getting their kids ready for the school year. Well, Team Wireless is helping kids out.
That's a pretty color. Matches your shirt, too.
Team Wireless hosted Backpacks for Kids, giving away bags filled with school supplies.
A lot of parents might have lost their job with COVID hitting, so this is going to be a really big help for them, not having to worry about getting that school supplies for their child and being able to have them learn efficiently while they're at school.
Bags included up to $40 worth of school supplies, such as notebooks, pencils, erasers, and crayons. One parent says times are tough, and this is just what she needed.
It just takes a lot of the pressure off. This year's been especially challenging for us all, and it's just nice to know that I now don't have to worry about going to Walmart and picking up a backpack and finding one that she likes, and it takes away some of the financial burden of having to, purchase all these items.
Kids were able to pick out a bag in their favorite color.
You want to get the teal one? That's my favorite color, too.
Verizon also gave away supplies at its Mahomet and Urbana locations. In Champaign, I'm Gabrielle Cook, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Verizon only does this event once a year each August, but you are able to donate $4 throughout the year to help provide a backpack. There was also a giveaway in Decatur. The YMCA held its annual backpack attack, but it looked a little different this year. It was a drive-through event instead. Backpacks were filled with grade-specific school supplies geared towards anyone from kindergarten through 6th grade. Volunteers handed out roughly 2,000 backpacks, and Decatur Public Schools officials were also there helping register students. The district plans to start the year virtually. After a summer of canceled events, one park district is finally reopening its facilities today. The Urbana Park District will now offer secured pavilion rentals, and the parks won't be able to rent space for races and walks, though, and you might want to bring some water bottles because you still cannot use the fountains. Same goes for the restrooms. Park District leaders say they're excited to move forward.
We're really happy to be back opening up and being ready to serve the public again. We've missed the community a lot, and we're very glad to be back open again.
The district kept kids busy this summer with boredom buster bags, and they also put together health and wellness videos. If you enter any indoor space, you're going to need a mask, and to see each facility's guidelines, head to WCIA.com. The Illinois Department of Public Health is announcing more than 1,600 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Illinois. That includes 8 additional confirmed deaths, and in total, there are more than 180,000 cases in state, including 7,503 deaths. The preliminary 7-day statewide positivity rate is 3.9%. And the Illinois Department of Public Health also says 11 counties are now considered to be at a warning level for COVID-19. This includes Cass and Sangamon County, and officials say the counties are seeing outbreaks associated with business operations and high-risk activities such as graduation ceremonies, parties, and big sporting events. They also say people in many communities in these counties aren't wearing face masks. The mayor of Springfield has issued a 6th emergency order for the city. Mayor Jim Langfelder says the goal is to give clear direction to business owners. The order requires people who go to a bar or restaurant to have an assigned seat, and it also limits the number of people in each business so social distancing can be maintained. Businesses that don't comply will face fines, and for subsequent offenses, they could have their liquor licenses suspended. Langfelder says bars and restaurants will be inspected this week and next week. Nearly 40,000 veterans have tested positive for COVID-19 since March, and more than 2,000 have died. But the Secretary of the VA says one of the upsides of the upheaval in a pandemic, more veterans are seeing their doctor remotely. When VA hospitals were forced to close down many outpatient services, they ramped up telehealth visits by more than 1,000%.
So we have actually expanded VA's footprint, particularly in rural and tribal America. And in so doing, we've shown a way forward for the future of mental health care. We're actually reaching more people now than we did before the epidemic.
much today.
President Trump put Secretary Wilkie in charge of reducing wait times at VA hospitals. Wilkie joins Capital Connection this Sunday morning at 10:30 to discuss that effort and to explain how the VA is protecting veterans from coronavirus. President Trump is signaling interest in extending some type of weekly economic lifeline to help millions of unemployed Americans. The softening of White House and Republican positions this week follows weeks of opposition to offering what they described as a reward to people not going to work. And as negotiations resume today on another coronavirus relief package, this movement is coming as Congress is allowed the program that provides a $600 weekly supplement to unemployment benefits to expire overnight. Nicole Killian has the latest from the White House.
President Trump returned from Florida Friday night just as unemployment benefits for up to 30 million Americans ran out with no immediate extension from Congress.
The Democrats do not care about the people of our country. They don't want to do what you should be doing for the people of our country, whether it's unemployment or anything else.
President Trump pinned the blame on Democrats after the White House said it put several proposals on the table.
We don't have shared values. That's just the way it is. So it's not bickering. It's standing our ground.
Democrats want to keep the $600 weekly unemployment payment through next January. Republicans and the White House have offered a shorter-term extension at a reduced rate.
So we call on Capitol Hill to get serious about their negotiations. The president is serious about the negotiations. We're willing to engage.
The Senate adjourned for the weekend while the House canceled its August recess until a deal is reached on a broader coronavirus rescue package.
Governor J.B. Pritzker wants to roll out a new plan for the state's juvenile justice system. Under the 21st Century Illinois Transformative Model, he says the system will be, quote, completely overhauled within the next 4 years, and that right now they're creating a culture of instability and violence.
And in yet another example of systemic discrimination, the criminal justice system sends a disproportionate number of young people of color into the system. Black children, who make up just 15% of Illinois' total youth population, make up more than 70% of the kids in DJJ facilities.
Pritzker's plan includes transitioning kids to smaller therapeutic centers, investing in community support and intervention services, and increasing victim services in areas largely impacted by violence. Illinois students can now check on their revised schedules for the fall semester and can begin adjusting them on staggered days starting this Monday. They'll see choices of online, in-person, and hybrid classes. This comes as the U of I is encouraging the community to sign a safety pledge. People have agreed to do things like take a daily health check, stay 6 feet apart when they can, and wash their hands. So far, more than 8,500 people have signed on to it. U of I hopes it encourages compassion on campus. Officials say people aren't required to sign it, but they're expressing their commitment to keeping the community safe. To celebrate Black Business Month, Buy Black Chambana is hosting its first urban market. The event is being held in conjunction with Let's Shop Small CU. Event coordinators say it's open to all vendors, but they wanted to truly be representative of CU's entire demographic. And they're making sure vendors who may not have the money to pay the fees involved aren't left out.
One thing that makes our market different is that we make sure that this is not a financial barrier to keep anyone away from participating. So we waive fees for businesses to be here using the Black-owned business fund that we have set up.
The urban market is going to be held every Saturday this month at the Champaign County Chamber of Commerce. Organizers are hoping to grow it from there, and they hope it can be held all summer long next year. And still to come on WCIA 3 News at 6, Kofi is coming back. Marley's got all of the details ahead on what could be one of Illini's strongest teams in 15 years.
And here's a look outside of Champaign right now where we're still seeing those rain showers coming down. But the good news is they are starting to taper off as we continue later on tonight. But the big story still are these temperatures where they were into the low 70s, going to be into the low 50s as we go into this next work week with still storms into Sunday and Monday. We'll have all the details right after this.